Holy shit, 400 of you over on Rumble and over 350 over on YouTube. We are getting close to that 800 I wanted today. Keep hitting thumbs up. Keep hitting share. Thank you guys very, very much. And only $95 away from doing overtime today. Thank you so much. I found another My Lost Interest clip.
Okay.
I don't know. This might not be My Lost Interest, but it is Chad related. And
what?
I don't know. Like, Chad lately has been very funny as we check in on our buddy Chad. He had the Kate Meany, Alex Stein thing, and that was, I think we all agreed, that was fucking hilarious.
That was hilarious. Even he did, this is something, and it's my style, so I love it, but he even kind of burned himself a little bit where he's just like, and he's like, and then he could block me on Twitter, which he did. Like, just that kind of stuff is just, nope. You took the piss out of yourself for a minute. Good for
I
you.
did think that was funny. That was some of Chad's best work. So now, that whole Dabbleverse group of people, I've said for a long time now, it's just a bunch of fucking whingy pussies. Like, it's really, really bad. It's not people who do shows and have a good time. It's literally just a gaggle of people who talk about each other constantly and just gossip about each other. And then, like, I don't know if they want to be edgy or they want to be cool. I don't know what the ultimate goal is. But, God, they whinge and whine and cunt and bitch about everything everyone else does. This guy said this. This guy said that. How I can't believe. Like, they're all a bunch of pearl-clutching pussies. Every time someone has an opinion or does something, they all light their fucking nutsack hairs on fire and run around in circles. And I didn't understand until My Lost Interest came around with his videos that it's not that I wanted out of that. It's that I didn't want to be associated with that style because that's not my style. Mm-hmm. My style is talk about shit, be funny, say whatever you want, cover the news, do all that. And I never really fit in that world because, again, and the Dabbleverse people like to get mad at me, but look in the fucking mirror. That's who you should be mad at. We here at Steel Toe do an actual morning.
Steel Toot.
And Steel Toe. Yeah, both of them. We do an actual morning show. I'm sorry. We cover things. We bounce around from topic to topic. We take our listener input. We don't just sit there jacking ourselves off talking about everybody all day. And once in a while, I'm more than willing to do a little clip, but then it's onward and upward with the show. These guys make their entire... Oh, and also, when we finish our show, we go out and do our shit. Like, Johnny has to do a battery. I have to pay Johnny. A bunch of shit needs to... I got to go to the gym. A lot of shit has to happen. My wife has to go put glue buttons on things, which is code word for just gangbangs. But these guys just... They talk about each other when they're on their streams. And then when they're done with their streams, they go on the internet and keep fucking talking about each other. And I think to myself, when do you live a life? When do you...
But that's the problem. That is their life.
And I shudder to think about that. It's fucked up. So the other thing I can't stand about that world is that, and I mentioned it a little bit ago, the pearl clutching. Oh, we're going to say everything. I mean, that whole Dabbleverse thing is built around bullying a guy. Like that's the beginning and end. That's the sunrise and sunset, the alpha and the omega of this whole Dabble thing, is we're going to harass and bully another man in Stuttering John. So then when people have a take about other people within this universe and they shit on them or whatever, these pearl-clutching fucking pussies, each one of them do a man of it. Did you hear what so-and-so said? That crosses the line. That's too far. There is no too far. There is no crossing the line. That's why I was like, dude, fuck these people. They're just retarded. You guys started this shit with the bullying and the harassment of this Stuttering John guy who should be allowed to do a show, be left alone, whatever. Fuck it. But everyone wanted to make a cottage industry out of shitting on this guy and mocking him. You don't then get to be the speech police. You don't get to say, so-and-so said this. Oh, my goodness, how could he? That's too far, blah, blah, blah. No. As Richard Nixon said, no holds barred. No holds barred. That's what this is. So I saw a clip recently And the clip was Chad talking about big old fat Patrick Melton.
Okay.
And these two apparently hate each other. They can't stand each other. They want to destroy each other, whatever. Patrick has had his obsession with us for a long time. I mean, we brought him out of obscurity. We rescued him from his Red Bar death. And we've always kind of looked at him as just kind of a silly hobgoblin because, like, the Chads of the world don't know that guy's a walking gimmick, you know, so they get, like, upset about shit he says. But I kind of look at him as, and I always have, as kind of unthreatening and adorable. Like, oh, this guy is doing this because he has to. He's not doing what he wants to do. He's doing this because he has to, because he got bit by the Red Bar zombie. He became a Red Bar zombie, and now he's got to try and do that to, like, process the hurt. I understand where the guy's coming from. He was probably a torrentially bullied kid. He probably didn't have a good upbringing, and this is the result of it. Okay, he's a kid who probably, like would fantasize about being a superhero a lot, you know, because his actual life wasn't very good. And that's kind of where he is now. So I kind of put him in the proper perspective. And he's kind of just out there having his fun. Chad doesn't see that. Chad, you know Chad. Chad goes to war with everybody. Chad goes to war, and then Chad, you know, talks about your family, and he talks about this, and he talks about that. And as I've learned the internet, I've learned to take people like Chad with a grain of salt. Like when he first started talking about all my family shit, that was the first time that had ever happened. And I'm like, well, fuck that piece of shit. I'm not fucking around with him anymore. What a fucking asshole. And now I'm sitting there going, oh, this is just a wounded animal. This is just a hurt people thing. This is just like the gimmick he's playing. He can't really do anything. It's all feckless rage. He's adorable. He's cute. So he and Patrick Melton hate each other. They all want to fuck up each other's shit. So Chad, I guess, found out that Patrick's wife is Jewish, or his fiance. I don't know if it's a girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever. Found out that his partner's Jewish. And Chad decided to make some Jew jokes on his show. Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Patrick Melton has attacked people's families. He's a desperate guy. He's not a very funny guy. And he goes for the shock thing. So Chad obviously has done the same thing with other people. So in my opinion, it's totally fine to do it to Chad, and it's totally fine to do it to Patrick. I mean, that's kind of the bed that these guys have made.
Yeah.
This community that they're in is so full of gay F words. I mean, just the dumbest motherfuckers. They hear Chad do the Jewish thing, and they start pearl clutching. There's a Reddit post where people are like, oh, can you believe what Chad said about Jewish people? And, oh, my God, Chad, that's over the line. He said, if you watch Chad Zumock and you go, that's over the line, you're the fucking pussy. Of course he's going over the line. He's, as Charlie Murphy once said, a habitual line stepper. There's no. So if you're going to get upset and say, oh, Chad's gone too far, then you're a fucking moron. I can't help you. So here's Chad's little ditty. I guess he's watching Patrick, and Patrick was on location somewhere, and Chad's shitting on him.
Cushing emergency means I need more money. Yeah, actually, I can't get home. I miscalculated grossly, and I don't have enough cash to get home. So if anybody could, I mean,
that's not the first. I mean, that's a joke and everything, but that's not the first time that's happened. I mean, he had to hide out in Australia for a long time after the Red Bar beatings and like host bar trivia. So, I mean, it's you can't really make a joke out of shit that's believable about you.
Right. Just that'd be like me going, look, man, I can't really do stairs. Like, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's not really a joke. I mean, that's something you've had to put up. It would be like me saying, hey, guys, I'm going to start using hair care products. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, your hair is moving backwards. That's not necessarily a joke.
I was hoping we had already gotten on this train. You're behind the ball, sir.
Hanging on for dear life is what I'm doing.
Well, behind the bald, I guess.
So let's see where Chad goes, so far, and these fucking dabble pussies with their, you can do. They have these weird rules where it's like, you can say this about this person, but you can't say this. Or I can say this about this person. You can say this. This happened to me when I was making fun of Shuli at one point. And Shuli was like reading people's DMs and doing very tricky shit, saying one thing to someone and then doing another and then manipulating it. And my joke was, well, yeah, Shuli's Jewish. That was my whole explanation. It was like, Shuli's Jewish. He can't help it. What do you want him to do? Just a silly, funny little Jewish joke. He lost his fucking mind. Oh, my God, the anti-Semitism. I can't believe he was, crying out crying out with sadness as he strikes you, that whole thing. And that's when I kind of saw through that whole community, and I was like, these people are so full of fucking shit. They will sit here and try to make this John Melendez cry and try to ruin his life and get his gigs canceled and all this shit. But if you make a little Jew joke, but he said Jewish, fuck off. Grow some fucking balls. So Chad goes off on this little rant here. And I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with it. Look at us like sticking up for Zumock twice in a week.
I will say this. I was thinking this while you were talking. I was just kind of looking at the still frame here. It seems like he's actually taken some of our criticisms to heart, whether he realizes it or not. He's upgraded his setup. He's got a better mic. He's got a better chair. It looks a little bit more professional, at least.
Yeah. You're right.
So,
Chad has totally taken steel toe advice. And he's getting better. Yeah, he's taken our advice, and it's actually improving his programming. God, I'm good at this. I take credit for Chad's improvement.
So if anybody could spot me some air.
Why doesn't you your Jew fiance, which your Jew fiance, who your home is in her name, right? She probably has some money for you.
Come on. That's funny.
It'd only be better if, well, wait a minute. Never mind. She's a Jew, so of course she won't pay.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
That would be funnier.
That's a funny, stupid, silly line. And now these people in that community are going, can you believe, has Chad gone too far? Go fuck yourself. If you're
Did he dox Melton? I don't think he's gone too far yet.
Well, you can't dox Melton because Melton pays services to blur his house out from Google Maps and hide his address and all that stuff. He's a scared dude.
That is, I mean, he is a more successful channel than me, so I guess maybe that's warranted, but that still seems like
no. It was the red bar thing. He got so scarred by the red bar stuff that that's why I always say, I'm like, there really is no feud between us and Melton because I kind of know what he is, and to me, he's kind of exposed, and I just kind of let him get it off his chest because I know what he is. Like, this is just a scared guy putting on a character after he got melted down so badly. It's not like it's really innocuous more than anything. And I know that's insulting. I'm not trying to be insulting and dismissive. That's just kind of how I feel. It's kind of a nothing guy doing a character after he got burned really bad, and let the kid get it off his chest. It's a big fucking chest, about 400 pounds. So Chad's going, you're Jew. Why not have your Jew fiance pay for it? She's probably got some money. Your Jew fiance, whose house is in her name, and then people go, oh, he's bringing wives into it and this and that. First of all, Chad brings wives into it.
Yeah, he brings wives, family, all sorts of shit into it.
We're the canaries in the Chad coal mine. We're the one who showed you guys this shit. We are the first ones to have Chad be that guy. So, we're kind of the ones who showed you what Chad was. So from now, after us, you're not allowed to complain anymore. Because if you decide to get involved with Chad Zumock, that's the risk you have to take. If you're a Melton fan, you can't be upset about Chad saying that about him. I mean, Patrick Melton is a desperate guy, and every time he feuds with anyone, he loses his mind and tries to get everything they have, canceled and dismissed. Like, when he started making fun of us, he started talking to all of our ex-girlfriends and ex-boyfriends, which is, again, I just kind of know who he is. It's kind of sad, and let him do his thing. And like your exes come to me and be like, this guy like wrote me a big long message and he wants me to talk a bunch of shit about you. Like, is this guy stable? Like, is this a normal? He seems mentally ill. And you're just like,
yeah, because that's one thing people love is when random strangers reach out to them like, hey, man, I want to sandbag your ex, so let's talk about this.
And the ex is like, dude, you're thinking about him more than I do, and I fucked him. It's a little weird, dude. That's why I think a lot of this is, at least in Melton's case, a lot of this is, I think, misplaced sexual energy about me. Which is fine. Everybody's allowed to.
So he just really wants to sleep with you?
I probably. And look, it's no offense. It's a hard no from me, but I understand. Look, people are allowed to get through things.
Logistics alone. Like, how do you make that?
Oh, it really is, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever been raped by a blue whale? Then you have no idea what I'm talking about.